afternoon. This is the Athens City Planning Commission meeting for Thursday, May 16, 2013. A small quorum has been established here. And disposition of the minutes. Oh, sorry. If anybody wishes to address the commission, can they just stand and raise their hand? And do you solemnly promise to be as factually correct as possible in your discussions with the Planning Commission? We're all set. Disposition of minutes. Did everybody have a chance to look at the minutes? And is everybody here able to vote on the minutes?
I was here, unable.
Yes, there's three of us here. I move that we accept the minutes of May 2nd.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
There are no cases before the Planning Commission today. However, there are a few communications that from people who would like to address the Planning Commission and the community. First up would be John Valentour, Union Street Development Office Building. And did you want to either, can they come to the table or do you need to come up to the, okay.
This is a Title 41, right?
It will be.
It will be. Okay, we're just in a preliminary discussion.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you have drawings?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
John Valentour, RBC Architects. I've got more sets here, larger scale. It might be a little bit easier to see.
We're all right.
You've got large ones too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty large.
What I think that this is, as you indicated, a preliminary discussion with the Planning Commission and for preparations for a Title 41 submission. And just to give you a heads up as to what our plans are here. The site is on West Union Street. It's currently a parking lot owned by Harold Laughlin, right next door to the HDL Center. Right, I guess you can tell right now because I think since Ohio University has taken over the HDL Center, there's now a barrier that has been created in the parking lot separating these two properties.
Okay.
Now this is parcel number 2 that we're talking about right now. There are 2 parcels that are owned by Mr. Laughlin at this area, and we're talking about parcel number 2, which on the plans show a 8,700 square foot office building, essentially, is what we intend to put here. And then leaving most of the parking, except whatever we have to transfer into trees for the tree commission, which we have not gone before yet on this project. We have in the set of drawings the Buckley Group, formerly RJM Engineering, has done studies down there and provided utility proposals for water, sewer. Now, you guys might remember a long time ago, we put in a whole farm of temporary units on this site for, I forget what agency it was, but we blended together, I think, 14 or 15 modular units. So all the services were brought into this particular area at that time: electric, sewer, and water. Now we're going to modify them for this application, but everything seems to be there that we need in terms of site utilities at this point in time.
Yeah, I think that was what, the job service, or was it
Something.
the motor vehicle bureau at the time? I remember they were kind of grayish, you know.
They're all
Yeah.
14 modular office. We backed them all up together to make one big building out of it. I did that a long time ago. I forgot all about it myself.
Yeah.
But the electric service for that is still there. There will, I think, this is 2 tenant spaces are going to be created here, and you can see, I think we've got the outline plans for the 1 tenant is already done. They're taking about 7,000 square feet, be about 3,000 square foot left over. The idea for this building is it's a single-story brick building. We're going to put metal roofs on it. If you look at, we're trying to emulate some of the detailing that was done at the HDL Center in terms of the steel frame entry canopies, large aluminum storefront windows on the West Union Street side. Now, there's two access points to the property that we're sort of looking at right now. Number one is directly off of West Union Street, which is where the actual curb cut is right now. The other would be coming off of Robert Street, so that you can get to this site from either direction. Colson Avenue, I guess, Robert Street.
I think Colson's a one-way, isn't it? No,
no.
it's two ways? Okay.
Two-way.
And Roberts, I always think of that at the other end of Colson, but I guess it is Roberts, because Roberts on the other side, too.
Yeah. One of the things we're
Colson's
trying
kind
to
of
do
narrow,
here is...
though, isn't it?
Pardon me?
Colson's kind of narrow, isn't it?
It's kind of narrow,
Yeah.
correct. And I was thinking of trying to make it wider with the, the tree barrier, the tree. We have to figure out some way because the building is set so far back off the road, essentially, try to draw people into it. And we're going to try to do it with trees and landscaping to make that building attractive in terms of
Is this just general office space that will be for rent, or is there a particular client
he's
that's
got
already
a
in?
potential tenant right now for the one half. I don't know if it's a firmed up deal yet, though.
And then the curb cut off of West Union, if I remember correctly, when I go in there, it's kind of partitioned off from the university's thing with the cement, cement blocks.
But we're going to do it with planting as well. We're going to get rid of that cement block thing and do an actual planting barrier that separates the two properties. And I think we need to do because of the planting requirements, we're going to have to redo a lot of the curb work up at the street as well.
And then all the parking that you have designated there in front of the office space is owned by Laughlin?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And there will be additional parking behind, which I haven't shown yet. But because of the nature of the tenant, we do have to get a semi in. And that's one reason why I need to be able to access through Robert Street to get to the back of the structure.
Question, looking at this schematic, the first page, SC1 there, I'm looking at the structure in the back of the building. What is that sticking out there? Is that a sidewalk or something?
I'm sorry.
Semi.
What is it?
It's a semi indicating a loading.
Oh, it's a semi-truck.
Truck.
Okay, that's the schematic of a
I was
semi-truck.
trying to show
Okay.
you, we need to have enough room back there for
I understand.
service
Okay.
delivery vehicles.
Well, that's it. When you started talking about it, I thought that was a sidewalk.
No.
I was thinking, how do you get a semi around a sidewalk? Okay, I understand what you're saying there. Okay.
Now, the Drivers Bureau doesn't still do testing in the back there, do they? Or
Excuse me?
the motor vehicle?
They're not in.
They're not even in there anymore?
No. Everybody has to move out of that building.
Okay.
University's chasing everybody out.
Okay.
So,
So things will change.
yeah. Yeah, this is going to become completely a university. Yeah, I think next January, I believe. I don't know what the deadline is for everybody to get out.
Okay, so really there's not a lot of changes. The curb cuts are pretty much the same. Both streets, access to it. The next thing, of course, we'll be running through the Title 41, which is look at all the infrastructure, right? And we
Right.
have yet to have a staff look at it?
At this point, I do know that myself and Andy sat down with the engineers and we did do a preliminary review. Andy was putting together his report. We just don't have it yet. And we haven't officially advertised it as a Title 41. I've done my report and I got a few small things that I can go over with John, but nothing big. The one thing that he did note or state that I'm not so sure is accurate is this is one parcel and it is split by zoning. Part of it is R3, part of it is M. Where the building sits is in the M zone. And our code does, we did some research on this, that we do have a section in there about lot divided. It's 230203B that states lot divided extension of zone where a boundary as shown on the zoning map divides a lot which was in single ownership at the time of enactment of the zoning code. The use authorized thereon in the other zone requirements apply to the least restricted portion of the lot under the zoning code shall be considered as extending to the entire lot, provided the more restricted portion of such lot is entirely within 25 feet of said dividing boundary line. The use so extended shall be deemed to be conforming. So what we've interpreted and tried to figure that out is basically, and Paul actually typed in that very same wordage into our zoning code, and it came up for numerous cities around the country. And that we actually have a little diagram of New York City that if the entire lot was within 25 feet the entire residual lot was in 25 feet of the M zone, then you can treat that 25 foot as M as well. In this situation, that's not the case, so in all likelihood, what we're going to be getting into here in the future is the M is the M, and the R3, the residual part of this, being on the same lot even, can be treated as an R3. There could be multifamily on that with entrance off of Schaefer. So without even doing a lot split, we'll have to maybe look, see if it's a PUD if we get to that point, or if he decides to do another office building. But this time we'll have to just worry about that if and when they ever want to develop that. But if it remains parking, it is okay because parking is permissible in an R3. So it was confusing.
I didn't want to bring that up as being, we're just taking this one step at a time, and I was trying to keep this building in one zone.
Right.
And not cross zones with the building, so that it might make it a little bit easier to work with in terms of the definitions that they're going through now.
Yeah. Or to get a lot split down the road, since where he has would be the westernmost property line, just to the west of the building. And that little dog leg shaped piece is actually zoned R3. And then the section that the building is sitting on with the front parking is actually zoned M. But it is the same parcel. So whether we do a lot split or whatever happens there long term, that's going to be up to them what they want to do. But based on what we've discovered or researched through the code and reading our code, that the way he's done it right now is permissible. So,
Lucky me.
John, where did you say the semis were expected to come in?
To the rear.
Off
this
of
little dog. Oh, yeah.
off of Coulson or
Yeah. Well, no, they'd come straight off Roberts.
Roberts?
Yeah.
It's not this is an office building, but they have occasional deliveries. So we would have to provide for that maybe once or twice a year, I think, or something, is what the intention would be. I mean, not that that matters, but we would make sure that it could maneuver. When we originally proposed this, we had the building 20 or so feet farther back. We moved it more forward, so we could get clearances required for turning radiuses and things back behind it.
So they'd be coming in.
Right up here, and then back in again. Right here, and they can come back out.
Gotcha.
I always thought it was part of Colson.
Isn't Roberts publicly maintained?
Is what now?
Roberts publicly maintained?
Yes, it is. But it's not a very wide street, as was noted
Well,
earlier.
I guess I'm a little taken aback at your comment about we may have to widen that street.
I mean, by pulling our curb in towards the parking, I was thinking to try, that's the only thing that can happen. If we wanted to ever be able to use that, almost as for two, we'd have to, like our planters and stuff, pull them back farther onto this piece of property.
Roberts was over here too. I mean, I'm aware of this one where the carryout is over
Right.
here. That's Roberts. I didn't realize the other side was Roberts as well. They don't line up exact, I guess.
With the remainder
You
of the
understand what I'm
parking that
saying?
you've got?
No?
I don't, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, you might have to,
Well, we wouldn't.
it'd be nice if
we
it was
wouldn't be-
visuals.
Well, it'll get,
Okay.
whatever, we'll provide better, bigger documentation. But I'm saying when we build a curb there, instead of building that curb right on the property line, we might pull it back off the property line and actually put our own little curb catch thing that would not really be on Roberts Street, but it could be part of this property that would be maintained by this property, but would actually widen the driving lane.
Okay. But
You know what I
not
mean?
widening the curb cut, existing curb cut
Along here,
on Union.
on Union, no. That would,
Okay.
well, we'd have to look at it and see. That right now is too steep coming up.
You're talking wrong. She's talking Roberts.
Oh, on Roberts?
Would you widen that curb
At the
cut?
street? No, I don't think. I haven't thought that much about it. I don't even know if there's a curb down there,
Well, an opening.
an opening, yeah.
Right.
If we did widen the opening, it would be on this property.
So we are looking at that whole corridor. We're going to have a water line replacement project.
Uh-huh.
We've put it off because of the Oxbow project, with the university taking over the West Union Street office complex, as they call it. And we're looking at tightening up some of that, what we feel we have some conflicts there. More.
Yeah, that's fine.
I can tell you, John, that the Factory Street exit is not directly across from your Drive. So your little bit of architectural
Oh.
liberty you did there is
Okay.
is off. It's farther to the west.
Are the apartments that are on Roberts, are they set back enough that
Barely.
it's safe in terms of just pedestrian?
There's no, I don't believe there's any sidewalks down there.
There's no sidewalk
No,
there as
there's
far as I
not.
know. I think it's right, it's probably got about 5 feet maybe to the building, or there's a stairway there, if my memory's correct.
Okay, is that part of the street? That's,
No, it's not part of the street, but there's not a lot of room there. The setback's not that extensive there.
You know, something we haven't done as a board in a while is to actually conduct the site visits.
Well, this is communication, so we're
okay.
going to get another
Okay.
whack at it if that's what you want to do. I mean, it still has to be vetted by our staff, which will include,
Right.
of course, the setbacks and looking at what's going on.
is the parking that's going to be in front, some of that will be rental?
Some of it will be.
Okay.
There's excess parking than would be necessary for this building right now. We need 200, one per 200 square foot, I believe.
Actually, 1 per 300 for an office. You're required to have 30 spaces,
I got-
and he's got 99 there right now. So
He rents them out, he'll rent out what's not designated for this office, which is being done right now.
It's got 99.
that's, yeah, it's counting the handicap spaces and the couple to the rear.
So when you talk about the problem with trees and landscaping, it's not really a problem if you reduce the amount of parking.
Well,
spaces.
there has to be some, I have to go before the shade committee and just go over with them what the requirements are, you know. If I do my straight calculations, there's a massive number of trees required here
Okay.
on this lot.
And a massive number of parking spaces too, so, you know,
No, there's got to be a medium somewhere in there that
Yeah.
can work for everybody.
yeah, I understand, okay.
It does bring me back to my statement in the past about, you know, we have the one-to-one parking, but we are consistently getting projects that have greater than need parking. So just,
I believe the planner at one point suggested that we actually look at a maximum as well as a minimum number along the way. A couple of years ago, you were saying, when we discussed this concept of parking, is that we should actually just say, you know, this is how many you can have, no more, rather than you have to have this many and as many as after that. I mean, technically, if the R zones now are limited to the
Lot coverage.
lot coverage of impermeable surface. Manufacturing's not. So,
Although with this site specifically, you could look at it and say, right now it has
It's all
150 parking spaces on it,
yeah.
and we're actually doing infill to reduce. It's another way to look at it.
You okay?
Sure.
Okay.
My car isn't.
oh, it was you? Oh, yeah.
Little blue car. Did you answer all the questions?
No,
No, we're
getting
still
there. I'm sure
mulling
you'll have
through
a
it.
few just right here.
I just missed your response. I'm sorry, Paul.
I was just pointing out that currently that entire site is nothing but
Parking, correct.
Yeah.
And so we're actually bringing infill in, to construction in there. So
Yeah, I saw.
it'll have a net reduction in parking.
Yeah, is that in the floodplain?
No.
No, it is not. There's a little bit towards the southernmost portion where it intersects with West Union Street that is in the 100-year floodplain.
Really?
Yeah. But that, the building is set back to a distance where it's not applicable.
Let's see. Do you have any idea when you're intending to come back to the board? Or?
Next meeting, if I can.
Has a full case?
We've got, I think you said 3 weeks to the next meeting.
Right. I'll get with Andy. We'll go over his comments. I'll have to get the drawings to the rest of the department heads for their comments. And then we'll get the sign posted out there within the next week if everything is submitted is accurate. And so,
Where,
The-
where's the wood fence going? Where's the wooden fence going?
Oh, it's not, that was left over, I saw that too.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm
You do
sorry,
have
it
it
is,
around
it
the-
is around the trash thing in the back there.
Okay.
But I would more likely probably do it in brick, not in wood. That'll
So-
change.
Okay.
That's for the trash dumpsters that are at the back of the building.
Shielding it, okay.
Did the commission want to make the site visit together, or just?
No, we can go down at our leisure. I mean, I go past quite a bit.
It's just that we have to announce if we're going to do it on a certain date and time when we're all there, but we
have a
cannot make
quorum.
any decisions there. But I do kind of feel like we should go back to doing site visits. I'm comfortable doing it on our own if that's the
Yeah.
board's wish.
I can do it Joe Slag. I'll bring my tape measure and my Polaroid and do everything. Just he used to be good at that. He was good at that.
Sligo Memorial Site Visit.
I just want to ask a question.
All right.
Okay.
I want
Okay.
to ask a question.
Nancy?
Yeah, these may have been asked before, but here's the first one. Is there a specific reason why you placed the building in the far back rather than in the front, toward the front?
We're thinking that actually I had it farther back at one time, and then we've been moving it forward a bit. I think that decision was made early on that we wanted to keep the front as parking.
In keeping with what's there. And is there, did you say there's going to be a fence between OU's parking and his?
He's telling us there's going to be some sort of planting as opposed to that concrete curbing that's there.
Okay.
We're
That's
gonna
what
do
I heard you
planting.
say. A landscape design?
Landscape.
The site plan SD2 says it's screen of Spartan juniper and 4-foot landscape buffer.
You know, it's interesting that, Nancy asked that question because one of your contentions was that you were going to have to do something in here to enhance in order to get people to come to this building because it is set so.
Right.
Well, my second question is, did you make the map, did you have an engineer survey it? Or did you just use?
No, we have it surveyed.
Yeah, and at what scale did you make it?
The survey?
Yeah, the survey of the topo lines.
I'm sorry. Is that what, this is 1 to 50 here.
And, okay, is that from the county GIS, or is it actually literally on the ground surveyed?
It's a survey.
Okay, from 1 to 50.
The
Okay.
survey was done some time ago.
Were you asking what the contour intervals are on the drawing?
Well, he said 1 to 50, so that's okay.
No,
I
1 to
mean,
50 is the scale of the drawing.
No, I know what.
Okay.
That's I just wanted to know if he had, because I think about that. Okay, the next question is, there's a storm sewer behind there that takes a lot of water. Is anything going to happen to that? It didn't look like it, but I was a bit concerned about that.
Talk about the infrastructure.
It's on the last page.
Is it the same one that comes across there and makes that huge bump as far?
Well, if you go down
Eastern end.
Bayard, it's all of a
Yes.
sudden open. It's like Dairy Lane, and I wondered what would happen with that. Are you going to channel the water from, well, the parking places are still doing stuff. Is anything going to happen to that storm sewer?
Yeah, we're redoing it.
What do you mean?
We're relocating it and putting in 2 more catch basins.
Where, so is the part by your place, and I actually haven't been down there, is it covered or uncovered? By the place you're designing, I should say.
What?
Is it uncovered or covered? Because along Bayard, there's an open storm sewer.
At the back of the site?
Yeah, along Bayard, just, basically the
I'd have to talk to Mr. Buckley, who did he's
design.
working on this with this
Okay.
stormwater, to find out exactly what
If
the
there is
plan
one. And so you're relocating it to Union Street, is that what you're doing? Or-
Actually, right now, the building is over top of the storm line. So we're going to,
Yeah, this,
There's 2 there.
C1.
There's
Yeah,
a
I had a
the
hard
last
time
page.
with my old.
Well, there's a 4x4 storm tunnel on the map, and
Uh-huh.
then there's an 18-inch as on page C1. Are you talking about the
Last
4x4 or the 18-inch?
Yeah, the 4x4 has some opening back up Bayard.
I don't think the 4x4 is touched. The 18-inch was put in there when they had these modulars there years ago, and it's being rerouted because of the new building. But from my meeting when we sat with Ryan Buckley, that I don't believe the 4x4, the larger storm is being touched.
How deep is it? Do you have any idea? how
I
deep
do
it
not
is?
know. It's actually more on the HDL
right away?
property.
Okay.
So
Well, I know it goes underground there, but I know that I've.
Where the inlet is out on Bayard?
Yeah. And it's relatively
It looks
steep.
like it
That's,
runs parallel.
therein lies my question about the slope and whether it was done with a map like this or if it was done on the ground. That's why I was asking. Okay. those are things I'm going to go look at. I guess the university doesn't necessarily have a problem, my last question, but will this tighten up the parking situation in HDL?
Right now, there's a barrier that's been built in the exact location that we're planning on making a more attractive barrier. So there is an outlet in that barrier up near where the Department of Motor Vehicles is right now. But I believe that the only effect that's there because of the Department of Motor Vehicles using this parking lot as their driver training area. In terms of the use of the university, having that cut off, I don't believe that would be an issue.
Just wondering, and also how many entrances now they have? 1, 2, 3 along that street. You probably are more familiar than I. 3 entrances from the lot as it exists today.
This one is existing, the one we're using, and I think there's 2 more into the.
So you're not
HDL.
taking any parking off Union, if there is any there? I don't think there is any, is there? It's on the other side.
Across the street there is.
Across the street. Okay.
Nancy, I didn't mention that we are planning a major water line project there for Union, and we are looking at this, what we deem are some conflicts there, and it's more in discussion with the university about when we go to do that, we're going to want to close like that far eastern one that.
So when
kind
the
of-
people cross over?
Yeah, that makes, and kind of looking at enhancing getting people safely across the street back and forth.
So how long will it be before you're back with something to the east of it?
Me?
Anybody? West of it.
Oh, west.
Yeah, before Mr. Laughlin's back with something to the left.
That's up to the owner of that arrow. I don't know what his.
Okay. It's not landlocked because it's got that little bit where the railroad tracks were.
It's got access off to.
It has access off of Schaefer, too.
And that's a lovely street to be using, right?
Yeah.
And you can bring up this one right there. One of
Cut
our
through
old
the
bones
parking
of
lot.
contention. Okay, thank you.
Plan new development, what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
I know.
Okay, you mentioned that there's only 30 spaces needed, but they've got 99, so a lot of that's going to turn into rental at that point, rented lots. This little appendage right here is a semi-truck, because they have to bring it, they'll be bringing occasional trucks around, I guess, for one of the tenants. One tenant has been, is actually probably slated in or in negotiation, the other one's an unknown.
Well, one of the reasons why I was a little slow before I got hit by that truck was that truck was on Morris Ave, or on Madison, and could not negotiate it, and Madison is a bit wider than Roberts, I wonder.
So you picked a fight with a truck?
I didn't, I was way down the hill,
Oh.
but he had the whole area all jammed up because he was on both sides of the street stuck. So,
Looks at me, again, my fault.
no, it's not your fault.
Surely you're not accepting this as enough to go forward with the Title 41 plan.
The large scale drawings, I went through it and then wrote the checklist, and he's got majority of the stuff on there.
I mean, oh, this
So,
is
This is-
residential.
No, this is just Jack's.
Okay.
There
Don't
is,
freak out.
I was trying to figure out what's going on.
John, I believe there's a fence at the rear of the property along Long Byard right now,
looked at it.
correct?
I believe
But
so.
that will have to be
I had to see.
screening or something there because that is an R zone behind you there.
Behind here,
Yeah, along that property, line, especially with that semi-loading zone there.
that was one of our
now.
one of our natural areas. We were going to landscape that as well
Okay.
The semi will take care of it.
to help with our tree
Are
count.
there any other questions?
No.
Any other questions?
Yeah, the
Ask at this
semi's
time?
going to come
No.
this way. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Colson, but probably Robbins.
We're just, I'm just old business, old
Thank you,
news.
John, and I
Okay,
guess what we'll
cheers.
see you in
Okay,
3
thank you.
weeks.
So this is the 5 Thursday month, so 3 weeks. Did you say 3?
Yes,
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you said 2.
So,
Next communication would be Jack Bordle for the East States. Thank you.
so he's not going to cut back here.
What are we talking about?
This little-
Let's see, John, you want to
I can introduce it. This is the property that, on East State Street, that is between, the access would be between McDonald's and the Go-Mart gas station. There's a narrow slither of land that goes back to the land that would actually be between Coad and where Aldi's is. There's a little bit of a flat plateau back there at the base of the hill. is where they're proposing to do this. This project came through our office a couple months back, and I denied it based on the height of the building, and he went to the Board of Zoning Appeals, and it was denied. They were at that time 4 stories with 40 plus 45 feet, but I can't remember what their number was. So Mr. Bordeaux has gone to the drawing board and come back with an alternative plan of 3 stories and 42 feet in height to meet the code. They will have to now, though, acquire approximately an acre of land off of Coad to extend their parking lot into that area. So it will be a lot split, but I do not believe if they join it contiguous with the parcel that's there, it will have to come through the planning commission. But I wanted to bring it to your attention that they will acquire some land to accommodate the area for parking that is needed. Any other questions? It meets all the other, right now, preliminary bulk control items, but there are quite a few items, and I'll get with Mr. Bordeaux on that still need to be done on the site plan before it's capable to come through for Title 41.
What's the slope of the parking lot?
The slope, well, you got a contour here, but I can't read from it. He has larger versions of
Mr. Bordeaux, would you like to make any comments before we start asking questions?
No, go ahead with the questions.
Okay. I guess the first question I would have is with the entrance, the ingress, egress. You've already got the gas station to one side and McDonald's to the other. Is this going to create a traffic issue in terms of going in and out?
Go ahead, John.
I can tell you that Andy Stone did request a traffic impact study. Mr. Bordeaux has had that done. I have not seen it yet. I do not know if Andy has. I know as of Tuesday he has not, but it's possible that he has since then. So when we get that report, we'll know more on that.
And the traffic study was to cover the fact that it's a new opening and it's a heavily used street.
Correct, especially with the proximity of the 2 businesses on either side.
The drive-through.
It was completed, I think, about 2 weeks ago. And my understanding was supposed to have been forwarded to the city, but John informed me today that it had not been done yet. So I have the study, and when I get back to the office, I'll forward it.
In terms of the excavation in the back, is there going to be quite a bit, or is it? I'm looking at this contour map here. It doesn't look like much has changed. But
No, from the very beginning, when we acquired the site or the option on the site, our plan was not to go into the hillside. We tried not to disturb the hillside at all. There'll be a little bit. We'll have to build a small retaining wall, I think, in one area.
okay.
But for the most part, we won't be disturbing any of the hillside.
It's behind the hotel.
Oh, I see it right there. Yeah.
Has the plan changed dramatically without the code?
This is the, I don't know if you'd like to see this is what it, yeah, we have some extra copies.
Well, if I look at the lot lines here, this says 640 here, and this says 645. So these are
So we've had to scale,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh,
we've had to scale back the size of the building. We want to put it, in our business, trying to spread the cost over as many rooms as possible is what we're interested in doing. And knowing the market, we first proposed, I think it was a 90-some room property.
got that I'm reading correctly.
And we've had to scale it back to, I think, an 87 or an 88, 89.
This is a
89.
89 rooms
rise
now.
right there. I'm reading correctly.
So we haven't had to do that. Other than that, we pretty much it's the same building, except now it's 3 stories. We needed more parking because the building takes up more space on the site. So we had to acquire another acre of property.
How many parking spaces are planned?
I think there's 90s.
There's 98 provided, and our code requires 1 per every 2 bedrooms, so fully 45 is required, but he has provided 98.
I read that it says 89 rooms, 95 parking spaces, 12 RV parking spaces. So are
Those
we
are in
adding those
addition.
together, or is
I think that's in
95 the
addition.
totality?
The RV spaces, I think, are in addition. And
yeah.
But
I
it's
think we
not
tried to-
required.
They're not
Good.
required. I counted all the
So-
spaces entirely.
Right, so the RV spaces are included in it.
RV
All right,
spaces are
I didn't know how you
included.
did it.
I counted the RV spaces in there as
But when
well.
we have families bring their children to college, it's not unusual for us to have U-Haul trailers. So we added that so that there'd be a spot for them to park.
Nancy, do you have any questions?
So the co-ed
Already
space
asked
is
it.
not really required under our regulations.
Pardon?
I think that's correct.
Okay.
Well, depends how many he's got on his own property.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question.
I asked whether the co-ed space was actually required from our regulation standpoint. Or no. That was my question.
I would be acquiring that land from COAD, so we would own that piece of property. I have an option on that piece of property. And that piece of property with the other piece, that bigger piece of property would become one piece of property.
He has 53 parking spaces on the current site, and the code requires that the building would have 45. So there is adequate enough parking as it stands without acquiring the co-ed parking or co-ed property.
Are there going to be lights in this parking lot? That's a little personal statement. When the lights from the co-ed parking lot went up, they shined directly onto resident houses there. I know this one's further removed.
That's one of the items that's not checked off on my checklist yet. I don't have enough detail on that yet. I'll have to find that out.
Again, they don't have residences.
635.
There's not a residential neighborhood, right?
640.
Right.
In here, so
And this one over here says 6.
doesn't really apply.
Mm-hmm.
Just asking.
There's a whole bunch more. What's the top one say?
I don't see a top one. That's a little cross. So these are 1-foot contours?
As it stands now, John, you don't see any variance needed
Not
from
this
what
one.
you've checked on?
I checked it out, and I
Okay.
do not see any variance request on this one. Preliminary. But height, zoning, use, setbacks, coverage, parking, dumpster, et cetera, all meet all controls.
Are there any questions?
No,
Once again,
it's just communication.
more parking than is needed.
I don't
Just-
think
I'll
anybody.
just keep speaking. Maybe it's just me.
Well, I doubt this will be rented out.
Yeah, I doubt so.
Well, but
And I
it's
have to
also,
assume there's going to be some staff.
if you think about it, though,
It doesn't really need
it's a question of what's needed versus what's required, too, I would say on that. It's, the requirement in our zoning code is one parking space for every 2 hotel rooms.
Oh, yeah, that's rare.
I mean, if
Most
you
people
think
just-
about that,
sure.
that's assuming that a family of 4 is buying 2 hotel rooms and splitting it, when in most situations, it's
2 cars.
each hotel room, more or less,
Has
is,
its own car.
you know. Now, it's not a 1-to-1, I'm sure, but because there are families that are traveling and baseball teams and stuff like that, but. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely.
And you
And
have
we don't-
staff.
And we don't run 100%
Staff.
occupancy as much as we would like to. If we run 60 rooms, there might be 70 cars in the parking lot. Or there might be 58.
Right, sure.
It's hard to say. But based on our experience, and we built quite a few of these hotels, that should be enough parking to handle staff and any overflow from people having more than one car with them.
That's a silly regulation in our code. One for every
For
2
hotel.
hotel rooms, seriously.
That was back in the days when hotel rooms were $29 a night, and people got 2 rooms and had the adjoining doors.
Ah.
As a person who spent 22 out of 52 weekends in a
That's
hotel last year, I know that's not the case anymore.
But not $29, I think.
If there are no other questions, thank you, Mr. Bortle. And we'll go ahead.
So this will be, process?
If, I'll get with Mr. Bordeaux on it, they have quite a bit of items that need to be added to the site plan in order for it to be able to be submitted for the next meeting. So I'll let him know what those items are based on my preliminary review. And, you know, if they're able to get those items done and back in a timely manner where we got time to review it, they could be on the next meeting. But I can't say. That depends on how quickly their architect moves. So,
Or we'll see you later in June, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
You're ready.
I'm hoping that we'll be here at the next meeting.
okay.
Okay.
I'll let you know what those issues are.
Okay. I'm on my way out of town today. We're talking about it.
Thank you, Mr. Bortle. Moving along, reports from the city planner's office. And Paul, do you want to go ahead?
Sure, we're working on a draft of the Arts, Parks, and Recreation Master Plan. I hope to have that done within the next week or so and giving that to the Arts, Parks, and Rec Advisory Board. May 30th, that's 2 weeks from today at 6 p.m., we are doing that kickoff event for the Essence of Athens plan. That'll be at 6 p.m. at the Community Center. I would love to see all members of the Planning Commission attend if possible and get involved with that. July 11th will be the open house for the FEMA flood meeting. That's 4 to 7 p.m. Interested residents, property owners, landlords, et cetera, they can come at their leisure. It's not a structured event, but there will, so they can just come and observe and review the maps and talk with FEMA and ODNR representatives, as well as local representatives from the county and Athens and Nelsonville. I believe next week, and Paula, I might request you to double check that date. May 21st, is that when the meeting for the Columbus Road open house is?
Correct.
21st,
3 to 6 p.m.
3 to 6 p.m.
86 Columbus Road, Suite
103,
103.
the Deddens Building. It will be informative, so you can drift in and out. Again, it's preliminary, it's the plans, I guess. We'll get that, we'll have somebody there to take questions.
Okay,
So that's next week.
right. And that's all I have.
Okay.
John?
Tuesday evening at the Board of Zoning Appeals meeting, we had two cases. One of them was at 97 South May, and they're requesting a variance for the substantial improvements of over 50% of the appraised value of a property and the flood value for renovations, addition, et cetera. And that variance was passed 4-1. And the second case was at 122 Maplewood, requesting a variance for a accessory use on a lot at the corner of Maplewood and Shannon that needed variances for side yard setback and for lot coverage. And that variance did pass 5-0. So, and then tomorrow, I will be attending the American Planning Association Planning and Zoning Workshop, and I will come back with lots of information for every one of you in a
Please
couple
do.
weeks.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that.
So,
Okay.
At this time, for opportunity for citizens to speak, is there anyone who would like to address the Planning Commission? Yes, just come forward to the podium, please. If you state your name and address. Sure.
Joan Kornansky, 56 Mount Street, and I guess I'm coming to these meetings so I can report back to our neighborhood association on some of the things that have more or less have their infancy here at the Planning Commission, and then we find out about them later. And so it's primarily why I'm here today. But I guess I'd like to lodge a complaint. The last meeting I attended, I requested that Chairperson Bidner put me on the agenda, and he said, well, if we don't have any other cases, we could be too busy. And then I had no response from him. I'm assuming he was too busy because I never showed up on the agenda. But I see that people are on the agenda for communications. So I'm wondering if there is a policy that citizens who have concerns about planning in their neighborhoods or in general for the city actually do have the opportunity to be on the agenda of the Planning Commission. That's my question, my concern. I mean, do you just have to have a project? Or
No. I think you can be on the agenda. I'm surprised, it probably fell through the cracks here.
Probably.
Well, he said if we didn't have any other cases, right?
Yes.
I mean, if we weren't busy, but So what's the priority? I mean, I know people need to get their plans drawn up and their stuff up so they can utilize their new buildings and have income, but, you know, there's other issues that go on in this city besides just building buildings.
Well, I'm not sure what the correct venue is, and I guess that's what I'd ask you to share in advance. If you have an item and you want to say that's something that this board would actually vote on, or have authority to vote on, or to then...
Yes, and
ask
I
for
can
it.
elaborate on that.
Okay.
So the meeting that I was at, there was still discussion going on reviewing
Zoning.
zoning.
Yeah.
And I wanted to present some issues relevant to R1 zones. And I gave a small prepared statement that I handed out and requested that I be put on the agenda at the next meeting, and then I could discuss that in detail. And so I would think zoning, I mean, it was very appropriate, right? So it's not like I was just coming to chit-chat. I mean, I could send you all emails, right? Whatever.
I would say, because we've been moving at turtle's pace, nothing's really changed yet, so I would say that you still have that opportunity to come and speak to us about zoning R1.
I just wanted to make sure that it was not inappropriate of me to request to be on the agenda. And actually, it was two city council people that recommended that I get on the agenda so what I had to say could be a matter of record,
Well,
as
if-
opposed to just under
Communication.
announcements and other business.
There's a clear process in Title 23.09. If a citizen has specific requests for changes to zoning of land that they own, or for zoning language, that's a clear process of a petition process. So if you have a specific change that you would like to see, 2309 outlines the process with how you or any other citizen submits that request, and then the Planning Commission reviews that request and deliberates and decides whether to recommend that it be changed or make alternative suggestions or just keep everything as is, and then the Planning Commission would forward that to council. For example, if you...
2309?
2309, that's a standard process. With that 2309, it's a standard process. That's how when, for example, when the Far East Side was rezoned.
That's what I thought.
There was a petition through 2309 that was submitted, and that got it on the agenda. There's a time frame with which the City Council and the Planning Commission have to review. But that's the process for a specific change for any type of zoning issue, whether it's you want an R2 changed to R1, an R3 upzoned to M, or you want to change the required parking for a hotel from 1 for 2 bedrooms to 1 to 5 bedrooms, or whatever the case might be. There's that specific process is already in code. And it's not about being on an agenda, it's about following the process in 2309.
Okay, and that also includes additions to various sections of the
Yes, you
code?
would have to, the applicant would have to make a request for specific language to be changed, added, altered, et cetera, or for zoning to be reassigned.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's good. I wish I
that's-
would have been informed of that. And
Well,
I'm
that's-
glad-
that's how, my understanding is that pretty much any rezoning attempt within the community, it's always been petition
Well, it's
driven
not,
by
I'm not talking
No, I just mean
zoning,
in
right? I'm
general, though,
just-
but that is the process with how the citizen can get change and done that's how the review works. Now, if your request, and that would be just being on the agenda to discuss zoning in general, I think that would be at the discretion of the
Okay, well, this
Planning
wasn't
Commission with how they set their own agenda.
in general, I had some specifics and code and city planner were bringing forward areas of change in the various zones, which is why I came forward, was because that was actually happening.
We were doing a review of the residential
Right.
zoning codes in general.
Right, correct.
Right.
And so I wanted to bring that, I mean, I had actually talked to both of you individually, and neither one of you
Right.
mentioned this to me before. So,
I mean, I don't think it's ever been a secret.
it's not about secrecy, right? It wasn't. It was about just information.
Sure.
Well, again,
Just
and if
information.
I may, Jen, We task them with doing research to bring back to us, and that's how, so it really is this board that I would request that you speak to.
But,
Right.
okay, from my take, I think you're talking about the fact when we are reviewing the zoning code, that's when you want to be informed and be part of the discussion, right?
Exactly, because if there are changes that are going to occur and the planning commission recommends them to city council and they approve them, I thought it would be good to move as much forward at one time as possible rather than have any kind of duplicity or try and get that whole ball rolling again if it was already in motion. And I saw it as an opportunity or an opening to possibly inject some other, but I'm fine. I'll stop my conversation here.
Now,
I didn't mean it like that. I'm saying you still have that opportunity, and you may want to look at that 2309. We have not moved forward with any changes, to my
Okay.
knowledge,
No.
this year.
Oh, I definitely
in
will.
the business zone or the R zone, so.
Okay.
and my take on it would be on the agenda whenever we start go back to reviewing it. The concept we had is if we don't have cases and we don't have anything on the agenda, we start going back to that code revamping, and that would be part of our agenda at that point.
And
I mean, what you can see on the agenda, there's nothing about, oh, we're going to review B3s or R2s or something like that.
No,
We're
yes,
going-
I did. I saw that.
Okay,
I read
so
it before I
I
came.
imagine you want to be there when that picks up again, and you want to be informed when that picks up again.
Well, I guess I'll keep myself informed by checking at the city's website.
you can sign up for alerts,
Oh,
and
I
I can
know.
talk with you offline about that. But I guess to that whole thing about zoning and getting back to that discussion, it looks like we may have two major cases at our next meeting. But I would just, again, ask other planning commission members to come back to where we started, which was with the B zone. But I'm
know.
open to anything. I know you know, we want to protect the residential neighborhoods, so.
We start
It's
with
not
B,
moving
but
very
that-
far.
But remember, the Bs include the R zones
Yeah,
too.
correct.
So therefore, that's why we backed up from businesses into residential, because they all overlap.
Thank you.
Sure.
Unless there's anything anyone else wants to say.
Thank you very much.
They're cupcakes, if you remember. What you can do in
If there's no other comments for opportunities for citizens, we'll, sorry.
Announcements of the business.
Yeah, we'll move on to announcements and other business.
Okay, I was at the Disabilities Commission last night, was it? I think, Shar, right? Okay. One of the, they have committees there. One of the committees, of course, is Development and Planning, and they would like to see some of the plans that are going forward, where the Title 41s. I pretty much just said, most of the time we have, these by definition have to comply with ADA, but I think they'd like to see what's folded out there. Again, I don't think they have the authority to change something, but I think they want to look at it at least, if I understand correctly. Was that the gist of it? Yes. Okay. So they want to be involved in what goes on. So I would recommend that we send them the PDFs of these, what we have right now, or no?
My understanding of the Disabilities Commission role was for public spaces, am I
That is
correct?
correct.
Okay.
Okay.
And then these buildings are private, and they do have to meet the American Disabilities Act through the Ohio Building Code. So whatever that standard is, I do not know, or if the Disabilities Commission has the authority to ask for anything more.
Okay. That's how I felt about it. But again, they want to be involved, I guess, or at least see what's going on. Go ahead.
I don't have a response at this time.
Okay. I'm just perking up what I was hearing last night. We don't have to act on it. We just be aware of it. That's all I have.
Anyone else?
The Oxbow Bridge is still closed. All summer.
Our next meeting will be June 6th, 2013, here at noon in City Hall. And with that, is there a motion for adjournment?
Let's adjourn. 1:00.
Okay. Thank you very much.